today's class we will be discussing about the non-chordates and the chordates. We can also say that we are going to differentiate between the invertebrates and the vertebrates. As you know very well, invertebrates are the organisms which are not having the vertebral column, and the vertebrates are the organisms which are having the vertebral column. Okay. Now see here, the first feature of the differentiation is the notochord. Notochord is absent in the case of the non-chordates, and that's why they are given the name non-chordates. But in the case of the chordates, the notochord is present. That's why they are called as chordates. Notochord is present in any one stage of life, and in few organisms, in higher chordates, what happens that this notochord is actually modified into the vertebral column, and that's why these organisms are also called as the vertebrates. The second point is central nervous system. What kind of the CNS is found in them? So in the case of the non-chordates, the central nervous system is ventral. Okay, central nervous system is ventral in position. It is solid and it has double nerve cord. Okay, which type of the nerve cord? Double ventral nerve cord. So altogether we can say that central nervous system is ventral, solid, and have double ventral nerve cord, which is having generally the ganglia. Okay, what is ganglia? Ganglia is the bunch of nerve fibers. While in the case of the chordates, the case is totally different. Here the central nervous system was ventral. Here it is dorsal. Here it was solid. Here it is hollow. Here it is double. There it is single. Means the nerve cord is single. Single means the nerve cord is single, and the single nerve cord, which is dorsal in position, is not having the ganglia. While here the nerve cord is double and it is having many ganglia. The third point is pharyngeal gill slits. Now these pharyngeal gill slits are totally absent in the case of the non-chordates, while in the case of the chordates, the pharynx region is perforated by certain gill slits. Okay. Now the fourth point is heart. What is the position of the heart? In non-chordates, the position of the heart is dorsal, while if we talk about the chordates, the heart is ventral. Say for if I talk about the human being, which is a mammal, so our heart is located here, right? So this is what the ventral position, and this is what the dorsal position. So we can say that in the case of the non-chordates, the heart is dorsal if it is present. It's not necessary that all the forms will be having the heart, but when the heart is present, it will be definitely dorsal. Here in the case of the chordates, the heart is necessarily present and it is ventral in position. Now the post-anal tail. Okay. Now the post-anal tail is totally absent in the case of the non-chordates. The presence of the post-anal tail is the feature of the chordates. Now the symmetry. What kind of symmetry we are having? Now see here, in the case of the non-chordates, the symmetry varies greatly. It may be radial, it may be biradial, it may be bilateral, or sometimes the symmetry is lacking, means some organisms are asymmetrical. When you study the different forms, protozoa, porifera, sedentrata, ctenophora, platyhelminthes, esculenthes, annelida, arthropoda, mollusca, echinodermata, all these are what? Non-chordates. So in the various non-chordates phylum, you can see that the symmetry was varying. There were few forms where the symmetry was radial, in some it was biradial, in some it was bilateral, and in some the organisms were asymmetrical, means any type of the symmetry was lacking. But what we see generally in the case of the chordates, that generally the chordates are having the bilateral symmetry. Now metamerism. What is metamerism? Metamerism means what? The segmentation. Metamerism means the segmentation. You must know that in the case of the non-chordates, either they are having two segmentation, say for annelids, arthropods are having the two segmentation, while in the case of the Aschelminthes phylum, in which the ascaris and all are included, in them the pseudo segmentation is found, or sometimes we can see that in the non-chordate phylums the segmentation is totally lacking. But if we consider about the chordates, then in the chordates the true segmentation is found, that is the true metameric segmentation is found. Body is not only divided from outside, it is also divided from inside. Now, what type of the grade of the organization is there? So there are various sort of the organizations: protoplasmic grade, okay, cellular grade, tissue grade, organ tissue grade. Okay, so there are different organizations. So the grade of the organization varies greatly in the non-chordates. It varies from protoplasmic type of the body organization found in the protozoa phylum up to the organ system level of the body organization found in the higher non-chordates, say for Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca and Echinodermata. But in the case of the chordates, we always see that they are having organ system level of body organization. Now what about the germ layers? We know very well germ layers are of three types generally: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. But here in the case of the non-chordates, when two germ layers are present, the organism is called as the diploblastic, say for ectoderm and endoderm. So the organism becomes diploblastic. When three germ layers are present, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, all three are present, the organism is called as triploblastic. And sometimes these germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, are totally lacking. While in the case of the chordates, we see that they are triploblastic, means they are having how many germ layers? 3 germ layers. Okay. If we talk about the coelom, okay, then what type of the coelom is there? There are few forms which are acoelomate. Acoelomate means they are not having any body cavity. Say for, if I talk about the Platyhelminthes phylum, in which the flatworms are included, they are not having any coelom, so we use the term acoelomate. Pseudocoelomate means false coelom. If we talk about the phylum Aschelminthes, in which the ascaris is actually present, we can see that pseudo-segmentation is found. Pseudocoelomate condition means what? The coelom which is not bounded by the mesoderm is called as the pseudocoelomate condition, and in some forms true coelom is present. Say for in the case of the Annelida, the true coelom is present. While in the case of the chordates, we generally see that they are having true coelom, that is, they are truly coelomate, means they are having generally enterocele type of coelom. A true coelom is which type? Enterocele type of coelom. Now gut position. What is gut? Alimentary canal. The position of the alimentary canal. In the case of the non-chordates, the position of the gut is dorsal to nerve cord, means it is dorsal to nerve cord. So the dorsal portion in the dorsal gut position is dorsal to the nerve cord. Okay, because here you can see that the nerve cord was here what? Ventral. So it is dorsal to the nerve cord, and here we can see that it is ventral to the nerve cord. The point to be noted here, what is the position of the alimentary canal? It is dorsal to the nerve cord while it is ventral to the nerve cord. Okay. Now, blood vascular system. What type of blood vascular system is found? In some forms it is open type, while it is closed type in some forms, and there are few primitive forms where the blood vascular system is totally absent. If we talk about the chordates, they are generally having the closed circulatory system, right, or the blood vascular system, and it is much developed. Now we'll be going to discuss some more points about the differentiation between the non-chordates and the chordates. The next point of differentiation is the hemoglobin. Now the hemoglobin is present in some non-chordates, and in some the hemoglobin is absent. When it is present, it is dissolved in the blood plasma. Say for, if I give example of the earthworm, so in earthworm the hemoglobin is present but the RBC is absent. So we can say that hemoglobin is dissolved in the blood plasma, while in some forms they are totally, or we can say that hemoglobin is totally absent. While in the case of the chordates, what is there? RBC is there, red blood corpuscles, and we know very well that in the red blood corpuscles a red colored pigment is present known as the hemoglobin. The next point is the mode of the reproduction. As we know that the non-chordates are generally simple forms and they are not having so much developed type of the sexual reproduction. The mode of the asexual reproduction is more prominent, and in the case of the chordates, the mode of the sexual reproduction is prominent. Next is the regeneration power. What is regeneration? Repairment. Okay, repairment, or we can say that regeneration of some lost part, or the formation of a whole body from a small part. Okay, that is known as the regeneration. And the regeneration power is usually good in the case of the non-chordates. There are many members of the protozoans. There are many members like planaria, right? Like starfishes. They are having great power of the regeneration, while in the case of the chordates, the power of the regeneration is there, but it is very much poor. Now, body temperature. Let's talk about the body temperature. What about the body temperature? In respect of the body temperature, the non-chordates are cold-blooded. What are cold-blooded organisms? The organisms in which the body temperature changes with the environment or the ambient or the surrounding medium. Okay, so they are cold-blooded. We can also say that they are poikilothermals, while the chordates are generally cold-blooded also and warm-blooded also. There are various chordates such as fishes, amphibians and reptiles. All these are cold-blooded, while there are only two classes of the mammals known as the aves, and the mammals are warm-blooded. Now, the mode of respiration. As we know very well that respiration occurs by many ways in the case of the non-chordates. Either it may occur by the body surfaces, say for protozoa, coelenterata, these type of the organisms are respiring by their body surfaces. The respiration may be by gills, the respiration may be by trachea, but in the case of the chordates, the main or we can say that the respiration mainly occurs with the help of the gills or by the help of the lungs. The dorsal blood vessel is there, but the blood in them flows anteriorly. Okay, but here in the dorsal blood vessel, the blood flows posteriorly, not anteriorly. Here in the case of the chordates, the blood flows posteriorly. Okay, now what about the brain? The brain is present in the non-chordates. The brain is present above the pharynx, but there are few forms in which the brain is absent, while here in the chordates, the brain is dorsal to the pharynx and it is present in the head region. Hepatic portal system. Now you must know what is hepatic portal system. Hepatic portal system is the system which is present in the chordates. It is a via system in which the veins coming from the different parts, especially the intestine part, first of all do not open into the heart. They first open into liver, and in the liver detoxification occur, and then ultimately the veins open in the liver. That is called as the hepatic portal system. But hepatic portal system is totally absent in the case of the non-chordates, while the hepatic portal system or the via system is present in the chordates. What about the anus? So the anus is opening on the last segment. The anus always opens. If the anus is present, it opens on the last segment, but there are few forms in which the anus is totally absent. But generally what we see in the chordates, that anus is differentiated. It is generally found in organisms and it opens before the last segment. Here the anus was opening on the last segment. Here the anus is opening before the last segment. So dear student, this was the differentiating features between the non-chordates and the chordates. Will be coming soon with few new more videos. Keep watching.